What are some productive ways to let your anger out? Drumming. Whenever I can't exercise or burn out the feelings, I write. Pour your heart out. And if you're worried that someone else may read it later, you can burn it to release the energy. It very much depends on the person. Some people just need alone time, some people need distraction, some people need to climb a mountain and scream. Try them all out until one clicks. Rage cleaning. Grab that fucking laundry basket and throw all your stupid clothes in it. Stomp all the way to the washer/dryer. Furiously mop your goddamned floor. Get into your garden and lose it on the fucking weeds. I may have used this method before. It's a good way to use your angry energy to achieve a somewhat positive result. I find it helps if you mutter under your breath too. Exercise is amazing for releasing anger. Also helps with mood elevation. I have PTSD and have lived with anger and anger issues for most of my life. For me, nothing beats exercise. I like to lift weights. It completely takes the edge off. Heavy bag work is good for cardio and anger abatement. Yoga is great for both exercise and meditation. There is no one exercise type that is right for everyone. Try different things until you find one that you will do consistently. It could be running, swimming, lifting, yoga, martial arts, etc. Figure out what works best for you. Also, consider your diet. I found that some foods messed with my stomach. This in turn messed with my head, which brought out the anger. Over time I have eliminated various foods from my diet and it has really helped. Finally, get your sleep dialed in. Try to get 8 hours a night. If possible, the same 8 hours. I go to bed around 12 p.m. and get up around 8 a.m. Being consistent has been huge for me. It may seem like a lot, but once you get into a constructive, healthy lifestyle, your mood will improve, your anger will be manageable, and your general quality of life will improve. Full body workouts. Saving this thread because I do have anger issues. Swimming. Endurance running. My best runs were anger burns. Now that I am COVID flabby, house cleaning. Piss me off, and my place will be spotless the next day. I like to have a full-on imaginary argument with whoever I am angry with in the shower. I win the argument, of course, I keep my cool and have all the perfect comebacks and the person is left shattered. So satisfying. Make pizza dough or clean the house. Push away that furniture and vacuum underneath. I like music, cleaning, with music, walks, with music, and if I'm really angry, this may sound stupid, but it's extremely effective, I write a letter about it, that will never be seen by anyone but me, where I can vent all the angry thoughts and get them out of me without hurting anyone. Do maternal. Stop. Breathe. Close your eyes if possible. Deep long breaths. Count slowly until you can rational think again. You can't always get to a punching bag, or a pillow. Sometimes you'll find yourself needing to deal with that anger while in a conversation, in a public place, in front of impressionable people, etc. I'm guessing you may be asking for yourself or for someone you know rather than genuine curiosity. People may look at you funny, but you'll look even more ridiculous yelling, hitting something, or breaking something. The goal is to get past the anger so you can actually think and solve the issue that's causing the anger. If you tend to see red, have a short fuse, or embarrassment turns into anger, breathing and counting can really turn things around. To help facilitate this, practice breathing techniques whenever you're mindful of it. There are many attributing factors to anger, so it's not a blanket fix. The goal is to slow the body's physical reaction, and regain your ability to think and therefore function. I'm still working to overcome my own issues, and these techniques help. Also, never be afraid to reach out to someone or write down your feelings when they come to mind. Good luck. I listen to angry music for happy people. Metal just seems to give me an avenue to let the stress out. For lower stamina folks, throwing marshmallows is surprisingly therapeutic. Especially the campfire big kind. They have just enough weight to hit the floor with a satisfying thud, but they don't bounce or break and there's no secondary damage. You could do it inside or outside. Lift weights, specifically deadlifting. Running or lifting, singing, squeeze a pillow, write it down, sleep. Honestly, I found journaling very helpful. I am able to feel the anger and I am usually able to understand what caused it. Are there any underlying feeling? What value/belief was violated? Etc. A rather uncommon and odd one that I often use is silent screaming, or dragon breath as I like to call it. I simply press my face deep into a pillow and blow air out from my lungs with my mouth wide open, but without using the muscles to move my vocal cords. So I get the energy release of screaming very loud, without actually screaming. This can work very well if you're mad at something or someone. Just visualize said cause of anger while you do this. I personally find once the energy is out, I'm no longer angry. A second technique, which I find works really well for releasing stress as well, is a lifting technique that I use. Lift a heavy, solid object and position it directly out in front of you. Keep your back and arms straight and just focus on holding it there still as long as possible. This can get tiring if you use a really heavy object, like me with my office chair, but I find it clears any nervous or angry energy I have. Take a walk in the woods. Maybe an obvious answer, but working out. If you're angry about something, sweating it off is a great way to inhabit and resolve your anger. Singing angry music loudly, in my case stuff like Turandot's entrance aria or Brunhilde's oath, certainly helps. Not focus on your anger and doing something that makes you feel a different emotion. The more you stay angry, the more you reinforce the feeling. Obviously there are times where you should be angry, but I think we're talking about when you're done being angry. Comedy is good, creativity, dancing. I tend to clean when I'm angry. Meditation. I keep failing as keeping it a habit, but once I did a 10-minute session when I was angry AF, and I had a new me, in the end of it. Running. Remember that anger is complex emotions masquerading as a simple one. Fear is a simple emotion, but anger never is. With that in mind, anger is often a response to overwhelming fear beyond our control, basically fear crossed with helplessness. If your anger is of that kind. Biking. There's the delightful thrill of speed that hijacks the anger adrenaline, and the action/response feedback loop, pedal harder/go faster, is both gratifying and instantaneous, which short-circuits the helplessness. Anger is also often a result of accumulating hurts, sometimes irrational ones, that don't always register on their own. Being treated poorly at work, being treated contemptuously by a lover, not making progress at the gym. If your anger is of that kind. Movies, books, music, anything that sparks sympathetic emotion. Not sympathetic and empathetic in the "oh that poor thing, how sad" way, sympathetic in the internalizing someone else's emotions way. Once you are internalizing someone else's feelings and experience, you can usually follow the trails back to your own and have more compassion for yourself. This usually brings you back to a more productive way forward. There was a time in my life when I was on a path to miserable, angry misogyny, and my over-the-top emotional response to Cheryl Strayed's Wild opened my soul to see that ugliness inside of me, and confront it. Seeing a lot of physically aggressive suggestions, most requiring access to equipment of some sort, which is not an option for many. Writing is a very good alternative for many, whether in a journal, which of course needs to be secured, or in the form of Dear Diary rants or letters to the offending party/parties. Access to a fireplace, fire pit, or shredder is also handy. Write it, read it, sleep on it, read it again, burn it, and move on. Touching my skin makes me feel better.